Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, you said okay, we're ready. All right, good evening, everyone.
네, 좋은 저녁입니다.
On behalf of the City Council, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the City of Santa Clara's Friendship Memorandum of Understanding signing ceremony with Icheon Republic of Korea.
네, 오늘 시의회를 모두 대표해서 이천과 함께하는 우호도시 협정 체결식에 오신 여러분들을 환영합니다.
I'd like to introduce my fellow council members in attendance today.
네, 그리고 이제 시의회 의원분들을 다 소개를 해드리도록 하겠습니다.
We have Vice Mayor Patricia Mahan,
네, 여기 이제 부시장 패트리샤 마한 부시장님이십니다.
Councilmember Debbie Davis,
네, 그리고 여기 시의회 의원 데비 데이비스님이십니다.
Councilmember Teresa O'Neill,
네, 그리고 시의회 의원 테레사 오닐이십니다.
Councilmember Kathy Watanabe,
네, 시의회 멤버 캐시 와타나베님이십니다.
Councilmember Karen Hardy,
네, 시의회 의원 캐런 하리님이십니다.
and last but not least, Councilmember Raj Chahal.
네, 시의회 의원 나질 차은님이십니다.
We have very special guests with us here this afternoon.
네, 저희 오늘 저녁에 정말 특별한 손님들이 계십니다.
Mayor Tai Jun
네, 저희 시장님 엄태준 시장님이시고요.
and the Icheon City Delegation.
그리고 이천시 대표단이 함께하고 있습니다.
I'd also like to acknowledge our City Manager, Deanna Santana,
네, 그리고 여기 이제 시 과장 디에나 센티나님이시고요.
our City Attorney, Brian Doyle,
네, 그리고 저희 시 변호사 브라이언 도일님이십니다.
and in the back there we have our elected Police Chief, Mike Sellers.
네.
Oh, Michael Sellers, Police Chief. Sorry, he's not on the list.
네, 그리고 여기 경찰국장님이시고요.
But we introduced the elected officials. I'm excited to announce that on April 24th, 2019, the City of Santa Clara signed an MOU for a friendship exchange with Icheon Republic of Korea.
네, 저희가 2019년 4월 24일에 이천시와 우호도시 협정을 맺었습니다.
With the signing of this MOU, Santa Clara and Icheon will be friendship cities for the next 3 years.
이번 우호도시 협정으로 인해서 이천시와 산타클라라시가 이 우호도시 협정을 3년간 지속하게 될 것입니다.
Sister Cities International defines Friendship City as the first stage in the relationship before partner cities officially establish a sister city relationship.
네, 자매도시위원회는 이 우호도시 협정을 저희가 자매도시 협정을 체결하는 데 있어서 전 단계의 파트너십이라고 규정하고 있습니다.
Santa Clara has enjoyed long and lasting partnerships with its sister cities in the past 3 decades, and we hope to do the same with Icheon, as you can see up here.
네, 산타클라라는 지금 현재 자매도시들과 지난 30년간 굉장히 장기적이고 지속적인 관계를 유지해왔고 이천시와도 이러한 관계를 유지해 나가고 싶습니다.
The city of Santa Clara is honored to start this exciting cultural exchange with Icheon and look forward to future growth of the relationship between our two cities.
네, 산타클라라시는 이천과 함께 이런 문화적인 교류를 하게 된 것을 굉장히 흥미롭게 생각하고 있고 그리고 이것이 장기적인 성장으로 이어졌으면 하고 기대하고 있습니다.
So now I'd like to invite Mayor Tai-jun up to the podium to say a few words.
네, 그리고 이제 엄태준 이청시장님께서 여기 강단에 서셔서 네, 한 말씀 하시겠습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
예, 안녕하십니까. 너무 반갑습니다. 저는 이천시장 엄태준입니다.
Hello, I'm Mayor of Icheon, 태준.
예, 오늘은 참으로 뜻깊은 날이 아닐 수가 없습니다.
Today is a very meaningful day for Icheon and Santa Clara.
예, IT 산업의 선구이자 또 실리콘밸리의 중심인 미국 산타클라라 시티와 우리 이천시가 진정한 우정을 맺는 역사적인 날이기 때문입니다.
Today is a historical day. Santa Clara, the pioneer of the IT industry and the center of Silicon Valley, and Ichon build a true friendship.
양 도시 간의 우호 협정 체결을 위해서 지난해 8월부터 전력을 다해 오신 산타클라라시의 관계자 여러분들께 22만 2천 시민을 대표해서 감사한 마음을 전합니다.
On behalf of 220,000 Ichon citizens, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the people of Santa Clara for their efforts to establish a friendship city relationship between Ichon and Santa Clara since August 2018.
감사합니다. 땡큐. 우리 이천시는 대한민국 수도인 서울과 차로 40분 거리에 위치해 있습니다. 그리고 교통의 요지라고 할 수 있는 대한민국의 중심지입니다.
The city of Ichon is located 40 minutes drive from Seoul, the capital city of Korea, and it is the center of transportation.
그리고 사계절이 매우 뚜렷하고 또 강수량이 풍부해서 농사짓기가 굉장히 좋은 평화로운 지역입니다.
It is also a peaceful place for farming because of its 4 clear seasons and abundant rainfall.
특히 첨단 기술의 중심인 하이닉스 반도체를 비롯한 800여 개의 기업체가 우리 이천시에서 왕성하게 활동을 하고 있습니다.
In particular, about 800 companies, including SK Hynix Semiconductor, which is the center of high technology, is actively operated.
우리 이천시에서는 매년 이천 도자기 축제와 국제 조각 심포지엄이 개최되고 있으며 대한민국 도자 문화의 중심인 예스파크가 조성되어 있는 대한민국 도자 문화의 허브입니다.
In Ichon, the Ichon Ceramic Festival and the International Sculptures Symposium are held every year, and we have a Yes Park, the ceramic village, which is the hub of Korean ceramic.
220여 개의 예술 공방들이 예스파크에 집성이 되어 있으며 수많은 예술가들이 그 인프라를 통해서 생계 및 예술 활동을 동시에 성공적으로 해 나가고 있습니다.
About 220 art studios and galleries is gathered at Yes Park, and a number of artists successfully performs the livelihood and artistic activities at the same time, based on ceramic infrastructure.
오늘 양 도시는 드디어 우호도시 협정을 체결하고 그를 통해서 그 결실을 맺게 되었는데 이제 산타클라라 시티는 시티의 역사 속에 우리 이천시가 들어가고 이천시의 역사 속에 산타클라라시가 들어와서 양 도시는 같은 역사를 공유하면서 앞으로 함께 동고동락을 하게 될 것입니다. 감사합니다.
Today, Ichon and Santa Clara finally came to fruition through the Friendship City establishment. We have become friends, sharing the same history, sharing the joy, and sharing the sorrow. From now on, Ichon will be engraved at the history of Santa Clara, and Santa Clara will be engraved at history of Ichon.
감사합니다. 이렇게 역사적인 아름다운 날을 축하해 주시기 위해서 이 자리에 모여주신 모든 분들께 다시 한번 감사드리고 또 친구 도시로서 양 도시가 긴밀한 협조와 우호 관계 속에서 활발한 교류를 통해서 동반 성장할 수 있도록 앞으로 많은 관심과 협조를 지원을 또 부탁드리겠습니다.
I would like to express my appreciation once again to all of you guys in here to celebrate this historic, beautiful day. And as a friend, I would like to ask Santa Clara for great interest and support so that Ichon and Santa Clara grow together through the close cooperation and active exchanges.
이제 마지막 문장인데 조금만 바꿔서 이렇게 하겠습니다.
Okay, and this is the last sentence, and I want to change something.
이제부터 오늘부터 우리 IT 산업의 최고의 도시 산타클라라 시티와 유네스코 창의도시 공예 부분의 의장도시인 이천시가 친구가 되었습니다.
From today, the best IT industry city, Santa Clara, and UNESCO Creative City Coordinator, Ichun, has become friends.
예, 이렇게 양 도시의 우정이 오늘로부터 시작이 되어서 앞으로 영원할 것입니다. 감사합니다.
From now on, the friendship between Ichun and Santa Clara starts and will also last forever. Thank you.
감사합니다.
I just want to say, Mayor, we'll be happy to grow up with you. Okay?
네, thank you.
Very much. Thank you, Mayor, for that. And with that, I'd like to begin our signing ceremony. So, Mayor, if you'd like to join me and with the council members on the platform here, and City Council as well, and we will start our signing. Yes, please. What about his delegation? Mayor. Okay.
지금 저기 미용찬 회장님. 내가 사진 다 줄게. 알았어. 다시 한번 축하드립니다. Congratulations. 한번 찍으면 안 돼. 나중에.
Now for the best part, we have cake and coffee available for everyone here in the audience. Please join us up here and we'll have a chance to speak with you as well.
저희 이제 케이크하고 커피가 여기 있는데.
start again at 6 o'clock. So please stay. We have a small ceremony at 6 p.m. Okay? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for our statement of values? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we gather, we humbly seek blessings upon this meeting. May we act with strength, courage, and will to perform our obligations and duties to our people with justice to all. Let us seek wisdom so that we may act in the best interest of our people, our neighbors, and our country. All this we ask so we may serve our community with fairness and respect, putting their needs before all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, Assistant City Clerk.
Councilmember Mahan. Here. Councilmember Hardy.
Here.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Present.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Watanabe. Here. Councilmember Shahal.
Here.
Mayor Gilmore.
Here.
Thank you. And may I read the AB 23
Yes,
announcement?
please.
Members of the Santa Clara Stadium Authority, Sports and Open Space Authority, and Housing Authority are entitled to receive $30 for each attended meeting. Statement of Behavioral Standards. The City of Santa Clara has adopted a code of ethics and values and behavioral standards for public meetings to promote and maintain the highest levels of conduct. This includes mutual respect, robust discussion, and allowing city business to be done in an efficient and consistent manner. Please note that as the presiding officer, the mayor's direction in matters of process and decorum should be followed, and that the use of the gavel indicates all conversations must conclude and everyone in attendance should come to order and attention. Welcome, and thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Assistant City Clerk. The next item we have is a report of action taken in closed session. City Attorney?
Council took no reportable action in closed session.
Thank you. All right, we have continuances and exceptions. We have one item, but I have to hold that until 7 o'clock. That's the defer the public hearing action on amendments to the city code related to massage establishments, but I'll have to bring that back at 7. Are there any other continuances or exceptions from the council, staff, or public? Any continuances or exceptions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to our special order of business, which is the Friendship City presentation by Mayor from Icheon, Republic of Korea. So we have a special presentation, which is a continuation of our celebration that we started at 5 o'clock. And I'm going to ask Janet here from Korea. She's going to interpret some of the comments that we're making this evening. So if you please bear with us. As a special order of business this evening, I'm excited to announce that the City of Santa Clara has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, for a friendship exchange with Icheon, Republic of Korea.
네, 오늘 공청회에서 대한민국 이천시와 산타클라라시가 우호도시 교류협정 체결하게 된 것을 공표하게 되어 매우 기쁩니다.
With the signing of this MOU, Santa Clara and Icheon will be friendship cities for the next 3 years.
네, 이번 우호도시 교류협정 체결로 인해서 이천과 산타클라라는 이 관계를 3년간 지속하게 될 것입니다.
Sister Cities International defines Friendship City as the first stage in a relationship before partner cities establish an official Sister Cities relationship.
네, 자매도시위원회에서는 이 우호도시를 자매도시가 되기 직전에 어떤 파트너십 단계로 규정하고 있습니다.
Santa Clara has enjoyed long and lasting partnerships with its sister cities in the past 3 decades, and we hope to do the same with Icheon.
네, 산타클라라는 지금 여기 있는 세 개의 자매도시와 함께 굉장히 지속적이고 장기적인 관계를 이어왔고 이천과도 계속해서 그런 관계를 이어가길 희망합니다.
The City of Santa Clara is honored to start this exciting cultural exchange with Icheon, and we look forward to future growth of the relationship between our two cities.
네, 이천시와 이런 문화적인 교류를 시작하게 돼서 굉장히 영광으로 생각하고 그리고 장기적인 성장까지 함께 기대하고 있습니다.
With that, I'd like to invite Deputy Consul Kim Jimin from the Consulate General of the Republic of Korea in San Francisco up to the podium to say a few words.
네, 그래서
Welcome.
이제 샌프란시스코 총영사관의 부총영사이신 지민님을 앞으로 모셔서 말씀
You'll have-
듣도록 하겠습니다.
You'll have to face us. You're on camera. A million people are watching you. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Lisa Gilmore and the council members. I'm really honored to be here on behalf of the Korean Consulate General in San Francisco for this auspicious event. 오늘 태준 시장님 좀 환영하고 반갑습니다. 감사합니다. 와주셔서. And also, I just wanted to say that it's really important for us to have this kind of grassroots, people-to-people exchanges, and I hope that this friendship relation will nurture and grow and promote those grassroots people-to-people relation interactions between Santa Clara, the city of Santa Clara, and Incheon City, because it will become the basis for our robust Korea-United States alliance. And I'm sure that the Friendship Alliance will continue to grow. And I'd also like to remind the City Council that we have a very vibrant Korean-American community here in the city of Santa Clara and the Silicon Valley region. And I'm sure that they would be also doing a lot of things to promote this friendship relations between the two cities. And down to 3 years, I hope to see a flag of Incheon City on the wall of this council. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Deputy Counsel Kim. Now I'd like to invite Mayor to the podium to speak as our special guest. Mayor
손님으로서 이제 한 말씀 해주시길 부탁드립니다.
예, 아까 그 협정식 때 마음에 있는 말씀 다 드렸습니다. 그런데 또 이 기회를 주시니까 짧게 하겠습니다. 정말 이렇게 많은 분들의 관심과 응원 속에서 오늘 산타클라라 시티하고 우리 이천시가 이렇게 우호도시 협정을 맺게 되었습니다. 정말 감사하고 이분들의 관심과 응원이 정말 확실하게 관계 맺음을 할 수 있도록 정말 노력을 잘하겠습니다. 여러분들의 그 은혜에 정말 충실해서 정말 양 도시의 우정이 정말 활짝 꽃을 필 수 있도록 해서 그 은혜에 보답하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Actually, today we had a Friendship City relationship, and is a very great opportunity and is a very big honor to us. So, actually, from the Santa Clara and Incheon, we will build cultural exchanges and some kinds of private exchanges, and we really want to mutual growth of each other. So, thank you for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and your lovely wife, Dr. Nam. Thank you so much, as well as the rest of the delegation for gracing us here in Santa Clara. We appreciate that. So next, I'd like to invite our Sister City Council Liaison and former Santa Clara Sister City Association President, Councilmember Debbie Davis, to say a few words up to the podium if you'd like to speak.
네,
Councilmember Davis.
지금 산타클라라 현 시의원이자 전 자매도시위원회 위원장이신 데비 데이비스께서 또 나오셔서 한 말씀 해주시겠습니다.
This is special.
Yes, face the million people that are watching. Okay.
So now I know how terrified everybody is when they come up here to talk to you all. Okay. Mayor, this is a very special day. Thank you for coming to our city of Santa Clara. And we are trying to add to the wall that represents the diversity of our city. And we do have a huge population down on El Camino Real. I hope they're going to take you for a little spin down there. John and Sang, where's John? There you are, okay. And these two gentlemen were the reason that you are here. They came and they spoke with me and Councilmember Watanabe and convinced us that this would be a good fit for the city of Santa Clara. So I welcome you to our city, and we will have great exchanges. Oh, that's right, you have to translate. Oh my gosh. I'm so
I told
sorry.
you.
Oh, I am so sorry.
I told you about her. I told you.
Go ahead. Okay, do you remember any of that? Yes. Oh, okay.
네, 그래서 여기 오늘 이제 이 우호도시 협정을 체결하는 데 있어서 여기 계신 이 두 분의 공이 네, 굉장히 컸고 이 두 분께서 처음에 이제 이분께 네, 처음에 연결해 주셔서 저희 협정이 진행이 된 거라고 얘기를 하셨어요. 네, 그래서 저희 관계가 앞으로도 잘 이어져 나갔으면 좋겠고 저희 이천시가 또 좋은 관계를 계속 이어나가면서 여기 벽에 또 저희 이천시 깃발이 걸렸으면 좋겠다라는 취지로 얘기를 해주셨습니다.
Perfect. Thank you. And there was one thing that you brought up was like to our ears when you spoke about transit. And council member Teresa O'Neill is in charge of our transportation VTA. She's the chair of that. So I think these two would have a lot to talk about.
저희가 아까 그 이천시 교통 상황에 대해서도 좀 얘기를 해드렸잖아요. 그래서 저기 계신 이제 테레사 오닐, 네, 저분께서 이제 이 산타클라라시 교통 관련해서 총체적으로 담당하고 계시는 분이기 때문에 저분과 아마 얘기하실 것이 굉장히 많으실 것으로 사료된다고 얘기하셨습니다.
So maybe with your leadership, you will help us out of a big mess in the Silicon Valley. Hoping.
감사합니다.
And I would also like to introduce the people that are here from our Cultural Commission. Louis Samara,
여기 이제 문화 담당하시는 분들.
and Deborah Von Hune. They work with us with the sister-city relationship, and then I'm going to pass this off to Councilmember Watanabe, and she's going to talk more. Go ahead.
네, 저분들이 이제 자매도시 관련해서 총괄적인 업무를 하고 계신 분들이기 때문에 그 사안과 관련해서는 이제 저분들하고 같이 얘기하시면 됩니다.
오케이.
네.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, you understand? Thank you, Mayor, so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Davis, for that short presentation. So now I'd like to invite our other Sister City Council liaison who also served as a Santa Clara Sister Cities Association president, and that's Councilmember Kathy Watanabe.
네, 또한 또 현 시의원이자 그리고 전 자매도시위원회 위원장으로 또 활동하셨던 케이시 와타나베 님을 네, 이 자리로 모시겠습니다.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Annyeong. Or welcome. Mayor Tae-jun, and esteemed delegation and guests.
저희 이제 오신 시장님과 저희 부담분들.
Santa Clara welcomes the opportunity to work with Icheon, South Korea, in the signing of this memorandum of understanding today.
네, 오늘 이제 이렇게 우호도시 교류협정을 맺게 되어서 이천과 상당한 어떤 관계를 맺게 된 것에 대해서 굉장히 영광으로 생각합니다.
It is an opportunity for our Cultural Commission, which was just previously introduced. We are honored tonight to have the new chair of the Cultural Commission, Louis Samara, and the immediate past chair, Deborah Von Hune, are here tonight.
네, 지금 여기 소개해 주신 두 분이 이제 컬처럴 커미션에서 자매도시 관련해서 네, 일을 하고 계시는 분들이기 때문에 이분들께서 굉장히 많은 또 업적이 있으시다고. 네.
We know that they will be adding to their work plan of activities to help promote the cultural diversity of the city of Santa Clara, which definitely includes Icheon City.
네, 그래서 이제 산타클라라에서 이천을 포함해서 하는 모든 일들에 대해서 네, 저분들께서 이제 관장을 하게 되시게 될 거다. 네.
This ceremony today opens the doors for young and old, no matter what their background, to learn and grow from future activities that promote the world around them and give them a feeling of closeness despite the many miles that may be between us.
지금 저희 두 도시가 이렇게 멀리 떨어져 있지만 이 두 도시에 있는 남녀노소를 막론한 모든 사람들에게 미래의 어떤 교류에 대해서 기회를 주고 또 서로 더 가까워질 수 있는 기회를 만든 것이라고 생각합니다.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Bye.
Thank you, Councilmember Watanabe. Mayor I'd like to kindly invite you back to the podium to accept some certificates on behalf of Ichon. And the first, I'd like to invite Congressman Ro Khanna's District Director, Tom Pike, who is here with us this evening. So Tom, I see you're on your way up to the podium. Make sure you grab the right one. Okay, very good.
수여를 해주실 거거든요.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, council members, Mr. Mayor, and visiting dignitaries. On behalf of Congressman Khanna, I would like to congratulate Santa Clara and Ichion for establishing this friendship city relationship on the path to becoming sister cities. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, essentially, I'm wanting to, on behalf of Congressman Khanna, I want to congratulate Santa Clara and Ichion for establishing this friendship city relationship on the path to becoming sister cities.
연방 하원의원인 로 카나를 대신해서 이분께서 저희가 이제 우호도시 협정을 체결한 것을 대신 이제 축하를 해드리고 싶고요. 그리고 이제 이 증서를 수여해 주실 예정이시라고 합니다.
These are hopeful times for Korea, and community ties such as this show a promise for our bright future together.
네, 그리고 이제 저희 양 도시 간에 굉장히 밝은 미래를 함께 만들어 나갔으면 좋겠다고 하셨고요.
So Santa Clara and Ichion, show them how it's done.
그리고 산타클라라와 이천이 그런 밝은 미래를 어떻게 만들어 가는지 보여줄 수 있을 것이다라고 얘기하셨습니다.
And on behalf of Congressman Khanna, I would like to present this certificate of special recognition to the mayor and to the city of Ichion.
네, 그리고 이게 정식적으로 공인된 저희 이제 증서인데요. 이분이 이제 로 칸나 의원을 대신해서 수여하십니다.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
And for the record, there is a certificate for Santa Clara as well, because we do have two partners in this dance.
Thank you so much. Please give our appreciation to Congressman Khanna as well. Thank you. So next, I'd like to invite Vice Mayor Mahan and myself down to present two proclamations from the city. So first, Mayor this is a certificate of special mayoral recognition for you personally for making the journey here and to represent your city here in Santa Clara and our appreciation for that.
네, 여기 저기 전시를 대표하셔서 엄태준 이창 시장님께서 지금 이 증서를 받으시는 거라고 설명하셨습니다.
Uh-oh, careful. Thank you. And Vice Mayor Mahan?
So, Mayor, this is a certificate of special mayoral recognition. On behalf of the City of Santa Clara, on behalf of our entire council, we do hereby present you with a certificate to the City of Incheon in honor of the Friendship City Exchange Memorandum of Understanding, the signing between the City of Santa Clara, California, the United States, and the City of Incheon of the, help me with the province name. Okay, province in the Republic of Korea. we're very proud for this day, this 16th day of July, to honor you and your city with this mayoral recognition and to make this friendship leap with our sister cities.
시장님으로부터
Thank
공인된
you.
증서를 이제 받으시는 거고 오늘 이제 우호 협정식을 함께 해주셔서 정말 영광이라고 말씀하셨습니다.
Thank you so much.
We now have two council members, Davis and Watanabe, if you'd come down to please present the presentations from County Supervisor Susan Ellenberg and Office of Assembly Member Kansen Chu. And then I'm going to ask the whole council to come down for some photos after that. Kansen Chu, Assembly Member.
주하원 의원인 카센초하고 그다음에 도 의원 수잔 렐렌버그로부터 주는 증서인데 이분들이 대신 주시는 거거든요.
Glasses now, so I can see. I will speak. So, okay. On behalf of the Assembly in the state of California, Kansen Chu, this is a certificate of recognition on behalf of California State Assembly Number 1, Assembly Member Kansen Chu, on the 17th day of July. He's leaving this to Mayor Tai-jun, Mayor Incheon, Republic of Korea, to our community and to the state of California, with special recognition and signing of a memorandum of understanding for the friendship exchange between the city of Santa Clara and Incheon City, Republic of Korea. Welcome to our community. Here.
네, 주하원 의원인 카센주를 대신해서 이분께서 수여를 해주시는 거고요. 여기 이제 산타클라라에 오신 것을 환영한다고 이제 말씀하시는 겁니다.
Thank you.
Hope you feel welcome tonight.
오늘 굉장히 환영받았다고 느끼셨으면 좋겠습니다.
아, 물론이죠. Sure.
네, 지금 도 의원인 수잔 앨렌버그께서 수여를 하셔야 되는데 지금 이 자리에 함께하지 못하셔서 좀 아쉽다고 네, 그 말씀을 이제 대신 전해주시고 계십니다. 네, 여기 이제 산타클라라 카운티에서 이제 주시는 거고요. 네, 이천 엄태준 시장님께 이 증서를 저희 우호도시 교류 협정의 증표로 이제 대신해서 드립니다. 네, 그래서 오늘 이제 날짜를 말씀을 해주시면서 네, 오늘 이 우호도시 교류 협정 맺은 것을 굉장히 감사하게 생각하신다고. 네.
Okay, before we take pictures, I just wanted to make a couple comments and just express some thank yous to the people that put this program together. First, I want to thank our two sister city council liaison representatives, Councilmember Davis and Councilmember Watanabe, who worked so hard to put this event together today and all the events that are going to happen tomorrow for our honored guests. So first of all, thank you so much, the two of you. I also want to thank the city manager's office and her staff for all the hard work that they put in to this event as well. So thank you for that. And most especially, I want to thank our mayor and council office staff person, which is Genevieve Yip. If Genevieve, could you please stand? And you may not even see her sitting down because she's been running around like crazy. Thank you, Genevieve, so much for putting this all together. Everyone knows Genevieve. Thank you, Genevieve. She's worked tirelessly over the past couple of weeks to make this event very, very special for all of us. And you've really done that, Genevieve. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the council for the support of all of this as well. Yes, so sorry. Yes, Mayor.
예, 이렇게 정말 제 마음을, 제 가슴을 이렇게 두근거리게 멋진 시간을 마련해 주셨으니 이제 우호도시 협정을 했습니다. 해서 제가 시장님을 비롯해서 시 관계자분들을 우리 이천으로 좀 초대하고 싶습니다.
Today we made a friendship city relationship, and that is really great opportunity and great honor for us. So Mayor really wish to officially invite the Santa Clara mayor and the people of Santa Clara to Ichon.
Ask him if we can come next week. We have a council break where all of us are coming. Thank you so much for the invitation.
예.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
예,
Thank you.
저희 이천시가 축제의 도시인데 그 축제 중에서 가장 아름다운 축제가 우리 10월 세 번째 주에 이루어집니다. 이천 쌀문화 축제인데 대한민국에서 최우수 축제가 열립니다. 그때 오시면 정말 최고의 손님으로 제가 모시겠습니다.
Actually, Ichon is a city of festival because we have various festivals in a year. And this October, we have a Ichon Rice Culture Festival. And this is most fabulous festival in Ichon. So he really wish to invite you guys in Ichon this time.
City Attorney, do we have a Brown Act problem? Can we all go?
예.
Very
예.
good. Thank you so much.
예, 뒤에서 이렇게 또 올해 너무 바쁘시면 혹시 해서 10월에 너무 바쁘시면 내년 4월에 저희들이 유네스코 창의도시 공예 부분의 의장 도시가 된 것은 이천의 오래된 전통 도자문화 덕분입니다. 도자기 축제가 내년 4월에 열리니까 그때 오시면 더더욱 좋겠습니다.
If you guys are really busy in this October, he really wanted to invite you guys next April, the Ceramic Festival, because ceramic is the hub of culture of Ichon, and Ichon is designated as a UNESCO creative city because of ceramic.
Wonderful. That he's given us a lot of choices. Thank you so much. We look forward to. We're coming. We're coming. We're all coming. Okay. And if you, Mayor and your delegation would like to join us, the representatives from the Consul General's office, our cultural commissioners, everyone, please all join us for a photo up here. We would love it. Thank you. Genevieve, get up here.
내가 한 장만 찍고 나갈게. One, two, three, look at here.
우리는 나가도 돼요. 자, 우리는 전부 나가도 됩니다. 회장님, 이영찬 회장님.
We'll just wait just a few minutes while it clears out, just a few minutes. Good night. Yes, thank you very much, and thanks everyone for all your patience if you came for other items on the agenda tonight. We are going to move down the agenda to our consent calendar. All items are approved with one motion. I'm going to ask that we pull item 3Q because we have to hold that item until 7 o'clock, and it's not quite 7 o'clock yet. And that item is, just for anyone in attendance here, is action on adoption of ordinance number 2002, approving the Montague Park schematic design update and playground schematic design option 2 in accordance with city charter. So we're
So
going
moved.
to
To move it.
I don't think we need action to
move
hold it to 7
Want to
o'clock.
approve it? Okay.
We'll just
We're
pull
moving,
that out.
she's pulling and moving an item.
Okay, are there any other council members that would like to pull any items from the consent calendar?
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to pull 3H and 3R, please.
3H and 3R.
Thank you.
Those two items are, one is action on appropriation of asset forfeiture funds for fiscal year 1920 and related budget amendments. And the other is action on second amendment to exclusive negotiation agreement with Republic Metropolitan LLC for the site located at 500 Benton Street. Anybody else have any items they want to pull? Seeing none, is there any member of the audience want to pull an item? All right, is there a motion for the
Motion
balance
to
of the
approve the balance of the consent calendar.
besides item 3Q, 3H, and 3R? Motion and a second. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have public presentations. Assistant City Clerk, do we have any public presentation cards? Seeing none, is there any member of the audience that would like to speak on an item that's not on the agenda under public presentations? If you would like to, please come forward. Welcome. Welcome.
The microphone.
Oh, can we ask that you speak, pull the, I'm sorry, the microphone's way over there.
microphone.
Yes, if
There
you
we
wouldn't
go.
mind speaking so everyone can hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Richard Zeman, and this is my son Gregory Zeman. Our family has been in Santa Clara since the 40s. I grew up on campus at the University of Santa Clara in the married student housing. Greg here is a junior at Bellarmine College Preparatory, and this is his first look into the workings of politics at Santa Clara. We are here because we saw in the local newspaper, The Weekly, there was an article by, or a letter from Angela Zhang about mayor's coffee with the teens. And we thought it would increase the level of civic engagement of the local students. It will also allow students to provide advice and recommendation to the council. We liked her idea. This program would be a welcome first step toward getting youth to pay attention to the city government. We'd like to see this happen so that it will have a better and long-lasting impact on our communities. And that's it.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see that letter, so I would be happy to have coffee with any youth
Okay. We are
at
trying
any
to
time.
we are trying to locate Angela Zhang and see if she's going to continue with some organized effort on that.
Yeah,
But for-
I haven't seen that. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Thank you.
So, and thank you for coming. This was a very special night for us in terms of our new Friendship City relationship, so hopefully you got to see a little bit of that.
Yeah, we saw that while we were here.
All right, go
It was very
Bells.
good.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to consent items pulled for discussion. And Councilmember Watanabe, you pulled both items, so we can start with 3H, which I believe was the asset seizure money.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The reason I pull this, and I'm sure hopefully the chief will have a response. No, I think it's wonderful, that we have this opportunity to take these funds and, to be able to appropriate them into good things, in the community. And when I was reading through the consent calendar today, I saw that some of the funds are going to be used to support the North Side substation. So I had asked what specifically those funds might be used for, and hopefully the chief can address that. I see he's here. Thank you for being here, Chief.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Absolutely. So this particular line item for community policing awards and meetings are used for community outreach programs, typically with Coffee and Cop, National Night Out, and other programs familiar like that. However, we specifically, as outlined in regards to the Northside substation, is if you may recall, many years ago, we had an open house of the substation itself. And this is what we would like to use some of the monies for, is to actually have an open house during this fiscal year.
Good.
We have, obviously, there's increased interaction up there, dialogue with the police department in a lot of different areas. And we thought this would be a good opportunity to, again, invite people to the Northside substation to see that where it's located, because there has been a lot of people that have moved in the area that haven't been here for a while. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity during this fiscal year.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And because like you were saying, there's increased activity, there are more people moving in. And so it does definitely give an opportunity. Maybe I might even be able to go in and see it as well, because as long as I've lived there, I've never been inside the substation. So thank you for doing that and
Absolutely.
appropriating that money for it.
Is there a motion to?
And with that, I'll just make a motion then to approve the, let me see, the recommendation to approve the appropriation of asset forfeiture funds in the amount of $157,000 pursuant to state and federal regulations and related budget amendment.
Second.
Thank you. There's motion and a second. Any discussion on that further? Seeing none. Any from the public? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Second item you pulled, Councilmember Watanabe, was 3R, action on second amendment to the exclusive negotiation agreement with Republic Metropolitan LLC for the site located at 500 Benton Street.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Yes, I was happy to see this on the consent calendar as well. And I just wanted to just inquire about the feasibility for the developer to come up with a plan and within the next year, which will incorporate the city well also.
So, good evening. Ruth Shikata, Assistant City Manager. Just wanted to let you know that even as of today, we had a conference call with a developer who forwarded a concept that would make it feasible to meet the objectives of the VTA board and the city, we believe. And so the site plan will be submitted sometime within the next week or two. And this one-year period extension would allow the developer to further explore and process an application for permits.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you. And the only other thing that I noticed, I think there's a typo in the amendment number 2 that was prepared in the first paragraph. It doesn't reference who the developer is. It says in the third line, corporation,
Are
city, the
correct.
city, yeah, and yeah.
We
So
will-
just wanted to
Council
point out
catches
before we sign
typos.
off on it, so we don't leave the name of the developer out. That's all. There you go. I don't know. What can I say? I do too many years of proofreading and just these things pop out. So that being said, thank you very much, Assistant City Manager. I will like to make the recommendation to approve and authorize the city manager to execute the Second Amendment to the exclusive, the ENA with a Republic Metropolitan for the site located at 500 Benton Street after approval by the VTA board as well.
Second.
Thanks. We have a motion and a second. I see there's a representative from the developer. Do you have anything to say?
Mr. Mazzetti.
All right, thank you. Motion second. Is there any questions from the council? Public? Councilmember Davis, second that motion. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. It's not 7 o'clock yet, so we still can't have that next item. So we're going to move on now with action, item number 4, action on an agreement with Ovations Food Services, DBA Spectra Food Services and Hospitality for interim food and beverage operations at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Is there a staff report on this?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
just getting myself pulled together here. So Ruth Shikata,
Sorry, we're moving
Assistant-
too fast.
Assistant City Manager. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we have an interim agreement for food and beverage services at the Convention Center. So by way, can't see the screen. Can, here we go. I apologize for that. By way of background, in 2008, the Chamber of Commerce executed an agreement with Aramark to provide food and beverage services at the Convention Center. This was during the time that they were managing the Convention Center and all the Convention Center operations. And then in 2014, they executed an amendment which extended the term of the Aramark agreement to 2022 with an additional 2-year option to 2024. The city terminated that management agreement with the Chamber of Commerce, which was effective on March 17, 2019, and executed an agreement with Spectra to manage and operate the Convention Center effective March 18 of this year. So to maintain continuous service within the facility, Spectra transitioned almost all of the agreements that the chamber had with service providers within the convention center so that there was a direct relationship between Spectra and the vendor. Concurrently with these efforts, these transition efforts, the city released an RFP for long-term food and beverage operations. This is part of our overall objective of updating all of the agreements that we have in the convention center to make sure that there's performance standards, to make sure that the contracts are consistent with the overall objectives that the council has wanted to pursue relative to transparency, fiscal responsibility, and responsiveness to the Santa Clara community. So after months of discussion, the city and Aramark could not agree on the terms of an interim arrangement. So in May of this year, Aramark delivered a letter to the city saying that it intended to cease food and beverage operations at the convention center as of July 26, 2019. So we confirmed that that was their intention in June, and then with less than 60 days left in order to reestablish food and beverage service, we reached out to Spectra, who also has that service provided within their overall company. So we've negotiated an interim agreement with Ovations Food Services. So just as a brief overview of the interim agreement, as I mentioned, that we're seeking a long-term arrangement through an RFP process right now, and that RFP suggested that the new operator would be ready to go as of January 1st of 2020. So the interim arrangement is really from July 27th, the day after Aramark ceases its operations, through December 31st. So it's a very short time period. The new agreement also incorporates a 60 to 90-day transition. Our hope is that we will have a completed agreement with a long-term food and beverage provider, and that since Spectra Ovations will be in the building operating in that latter part of the year, if there's a new food and beverage provider, that they would help in the transition so that the new food and beverage provider would be ready to go as of January 1st. To minimize the transition issues, we have negotiated with Spectra basically a very similar financial arrangement to what Aramark had, with one exception. The exception is that the Aramark agreement had a number of incentive fees, and those have all come out, so that basically the city will be providing them with a base management fee only. And we will also be providing them with a budget of about $134,000 for startup expenses, to buy computers, onboarding supplies, to transfer licenses like the liquor license, and then to provide for some as-needed relocation expenses. So this is a quick chart just to show what the base management fee is. It's about 4.5% of the gross revenues, presuming that the revenues are between $0 and $3 million, and then 5.5% above that mark. So you can see that there were incentive fees of 2.5% that were to Aramark, and those incentive fees are no longer in the interim agreement. We believe that the $134,000 startup costs will be more than covered by the elimination of the incentive fees, so that there's really no change in the budget. So as far as some of the transition activities, because there was such a short period of time between being able to bring this agreement in front of the council and the time that we need to have new food and beverage services operational, Ovations has made employment offers to all of the current management staff that are available for employment. They will be bringing in their own general manager, interim general manager, and chef, because the Aramark general manager and chef have been transferred to other locations within the Aramark company. Ovations have been working with a collective bargaining agreement with Unite here, and we understand that they've reached agreement and they're signed an agreement, and they will also be responsible for retaining all the food service workers as required by the city's worker retention ordinance. We've also contacted the current convention center clients who have events within the convention center over the next 6 months to let them know that there is a change and to minimize any issues that they might have, especially if they've already planned for their event and then have their food picked out. And Aramark has been very gracious in assisting Ovations in the transition as well, to make sure that we have our clients remain happy. So Ovations has also prepared and has been implementing a transition program, as I've been saying, and so liquor license, banking, equipment and supplies, et cetera. So our recommendation is to approve and authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Ovations Food Services for the interim food and beverage operation at the convention center. We have a number of Ovations and Spectra representatives in the audience tonight, and I think that they have some on-site folks here that we'd like to just introduce the council to. So I'm going to introduce Tom McDonald from Spectra to introduce the entire team.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council, staff members. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and introduce our staff that'll be here on an interim basis. We're glad we're able to help with this. This is why our company was set up this way, to really act as one cohesive organization and be able to assist our clients as needed. We did bring a few members of our staff here. As some of you may know, Kelly Carr, our general manager, and Bill Bernhardt, our assistant general manager. And we thought it was important for them to be here because this is one team now, and they're going to play an integral part in this transition to make a smooth transition on the food service, just as the smooth transition was done on the venue management service. And we have a number of our other staff members, both as assistants to the transition, but also that ongoing on the interim basis. We'll start with our regional vice president, Don Riccardi. Don is actually based in San Jose, has a number of years experience in the convention center world, managed McCormick Place, Las Vegas Convention Center, two of the largest facilities on the food service side in the country. Also locally, our senior vice president is actually based in Pleasanton. He oversees all of our facilities in the West as well. He wasn't able to join us here tonight. Our staff that will be here full-time will really be headed up by our general manager, Christopher Hamilton. Christopher's been with our company for 5 years now, has originally from San Francisco, has worked here in Santa Clara at the Hilton across the street from the convention center, so is very familiar with the market, has worked at the Fairmount in San Jose, and has recently been at one of our convention centers right outside of Seattle. So we're glad we're able to have him and his family come down here on the interim basis. He's going to be assisted by Al Beltriana, who's worked with our organization for 12 years. Al's actually joining us on the interim basis to help with the transition as a interim director of food and beverage. Al's recently been with our convention center in St. Charles, Missouri. And then lastly is our chef, Chef Travis Potts. Chef Travis also has experience here, has worked in the past at Avaya Stadium. He was born and raised in Phoenix, but has experience working with the Raiders and the A's in Oakland as well, and really background in fine dining and recently more on the catering side. So we felt like he's really the perfect fit to be able to handle this transition. And lastly, we also have some of our Brian Mistovich is actually here today. He was actually in town interviewing the current Aramark staff, so we asked him to come over. So he's a big part of our transition and was enrolling that staff. So we're glad we're able to help with this. This is, again, why our company was formed, to be able to handle situations like this, be able to bring those synergies of working as one cohesive team together. And I think we have a really good team in place here to make sure it's a smooth and seamless transition. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Tom. We do have questions from the council, so if you just stay put. I don't know if they're for you or our staff, but we're going to start with Vice Mayor Mahan and then Councilmember O'Neill.
Thank you. And my question is actually, well, maybe for both of you, I'm not sure. So I have a question about the January 1st transition date. Does that make the most sense, seeing as how holiday times could be very, we hope, busy? January 1st is New Year's Eve, the continuation of New Year's Eve. I mean, so does it make sense maybe to make it like January 31st instead of January, especially if there's going to be a new provider? I mean, if it's going to be the same, but we don't know that. Just a question that, and also the fact that our staff is mostly gone Christmas week through the New Year. So if there are new contracts and stuff to be done, that perhaps we need to, I hate to make the staff come in on their week
No,
off.
the reason why that we looked at January 1st was that in general, that the building historically has been slower during this period of time. So the building is busy for the first 2 weeks of December, and it slows down, and it doesn't pick back up until like the second week of January. So it was an opportunity time. I don't know if whether or not that Kelly Carr, as the general manager of the convention center, wants to speak as far as the number of bookings that we might have during that period of time, but we looked at it as slower time that would allow for a potential exit and then a potential move-in.
Is that it?
I will say that we did the research to look at the event history, and it's not a busy time, that time in between Christmas and New Year's. I will say, with the current RFP process that's going on, there is a good amount of transition time in place. So if there is another organization that would be coming in, we feel confident that there will be a decision made that will allow enough time. And honestly, from our business, because a lot of our clients are cities and counties, a lot of our contracts actually start on January 1. So we've been through this process, and we've pretty much conditioned ourselves to make sure that we really don't have a lot of time between Christmas and New Year's, and that we're involved in that transition. So if it is something that comes up like that, I would feel confident that it'll be a smooth transition again if needed.
Yeah, that's the hospitality business that you work when everybody else plays. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, thanks.
Understood.
Thank you. Councilmember O'Neill and then Councilmember Davis after that.
I'm not sure whether staff can answer this question, but I'm just curious with the action that Aramark took, to remove themselves in this interim period. Have they notified us? And like I said, I'm not sure if you can disclose this or if you know, are they completely out of the running? I'm just curious that they chose not to participate in the interim period. Are they removing themselves from the competition to be the permanent or the new contract holder?
They did provide the city with a notice during the RFP period that they were not intending to submit, and they did not submit a proposal.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. I'm just curious.
Councilmember Davis.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to approve and move the staff recommendation and get you going. And Chef Travis, we all are foodies here, so if there's a tasting that's ever going to happen, please invite us. Thank you. Okay, so I would like to move staff recommendation, please.
I have, thank you for that motion and second. I have cards from the public. The first is Tana Vargo. If you'd like to come forward, please. And then I don't see any other cards, so if there's anyone else that would like to speak, you can speak after the speaker. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Tana Vargo, and I work with Unite Here Local 19. We represent the concession workers at the Convention Center. I'm here tonight on behalf of Sarah McDermott and Enrique Fernandez. We want to share with you that we have an agreement with Spectra, and we are confident that this change in concessionaire will not disrupt the job stability of the food service workers at the Convention Center. We want to thank city staff for paying close attention to this issue and for being in close communication with our union. Finally, we want to thank you, City Council, for having the foresight to pass the worker retention ordinance in 2017. Because of you, hundreds of workers have been able to keep their jobs at food service as food service operators change. We look forward to working with you, or continue to work with you, to ensure quality food service jobs are protected as more changes come to the Convention Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Tana, for coming tonight. Anyone else like to speak? All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. It's a record. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, too. Thank you. We're going to lose all our audience if you leave. Okay, so next we have, it is 7:01, so I'm going to go back to the two items that we have. First, I'm going to ask the council if we could defer, first, under continuances and exceptions, defer the public hearing action on amendments to the city code related to massage establishments.
Second.
And then city manager, you'll let us know what date that would be coming back, and it would be advertised again with a time as well. So there's a motion and a second for that continuance. Is there any discussion from the council on that? Any discussion from the public on the massage ordinance, continuing it? Okay. Seeing none, register your vote, please, on that. And that passes unanimously. And the next item was a consent calendar item, and it's item 3Q, action on adoption of ordinance number 2002, approving the Montague Park schematic design update and playground schematic design option 2 in accordance with City Charter Section 714.1. Does any member of the council have any comment on that? Is there a motion on that?
Who pulled it? Somebody pull it?
It was, as I mentioned earlier, it had to be heard at 7 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you were
Timing.
listening, yes.
Timing issue. No, I would like to
It
make
was
a
a
motion
timing
for
issue,
staff
yes.
recommendation. Thank you.
Is there a second? All right. Is there any member of the council that would like to talk about this? Or any member of the public? Do we have any cards on this one? That would like to speak on Montague Park, and it's exciting. So we have a motion and a second on that. Please register your vote.
I made the motion. Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, you caught me? Oh my gosh. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
And that passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, moving on. Next, we have our public hearing, which is action on the adoption of Phase 1 of the fiscal year 2019-2020 municipal fee schedule. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and
The fee
City
schedule.
Council.
Yes.
My name is Michelle Iglesias, and I'm here today to present the 2019-20 citywide municipal fee schedule Phase 1. I work in the finance department, and we've worked long and hard over the last 6-8 months to bring this before you, so we're excited to be here today to present this to you. We have a pretty straightforward agenda. We're going to go over an overview of the fee schedule in general, highlight the Phase 1 segment of this effort, and also discuss the fee setting criteria along with highlights such as new fees and deleted fees, and as well as talk about the summary of the overall fee schedule. And of course, we'll present to you a recommendation to move forward with this. As far as the overview goes, due to the magnitude of the information provided in the annual fee schedule, we were asked by council during the study session to go ahead and present the information in a phased approach this year. This is a little different than what we've done in years past, but we are moving forward with that recommendation. And today we're going to go into the details of what was included in Phase 1. So the city back in December of 2018 contracted with Matrix Consulting Group to do a comprehensive user fee study for the city. The study session was held on May 21st to receive council and public input for Phase 1 information that was detailed in the study session. So for Phase 1, we determined that we would look at routine non-development department fees, as well as deleted and any new fees that departments were recommending. So that basically summarizes into 6 or 7 different categories. We have a citywide category which encompasses items such as copy fees, technology fees, and a media fee. We also have the city clerk fees, as well as the housing and community development fees, as well as electric, finance, library, parks and recreation, and the police department. As far as Phase 2 goes, that will happen later in the fall of this year, and that will be more involved with development-related fees, as well as community rental fees for community rooms. The development-related user fees encompass the following departments: community development, with building and planning divisions specifically highlighted, as well as the fire department, the public works department, and the water and sewer utility. We are also going to be looking at the community room rentals and the nonprofit fee structure. Now, I also wanted to point out that in the schedule before you tonight, you will see all of the citywide fees, which are about 900 plus, but there will be certain fees that are highlighted as Phase 1 and other sections that are highlighted as Phase 2. With that being said, community rooms, all the citywide community rooms, are going to be looked at in Phase 2 of the study, and that includes the rooms in the library. And I just wanted to point out that for the library community room rate right now, the $50 is going to be suspended until we can further analyze what's going on. We will have a Phase 3, and that will also commence in the fall or winter of 2019, and that will include items such as the off-site parking fee, electric bike scooter fee, the false alarm fee, and the massage program fees. We will also look at the temporary street pole banner permit fee and the housing inspection fee. So for Phase 1 of the schedule, we are basically looking at all city services that provided benefit for individual members of the public. And the last update to our schedule was approved last year in May of 2018. So the proposed fees schedule is really a compilation of different fees for all city services that we provide to the public. Fees that were not included as part of this study were increased by a change in salary and benefits for the 1920 fiscal year, which resulted in a 5.3% increase. And/or some fees in this schedule are governed by a separate document or governing authority, which is outlined specifically. An example of something to that effect would be the off-site parking permit fee or the load development fee in the electric department. Those are governed by different authorities, so they fall outside of the actual user fee study. We also have separately published fees which are not contained in the citywide fee schedule. That would be your electric rate charges, your water and sewer rate charges, as well as the recreation guide that you receive in your mailbox 3 or 4 times a year. So what we wanted to highlight for Phase 1 is that we're relinquishing the past practice of increasing fees by the maximum increments of 25%, to the extent that these increases do not exceed cost recovery. Increases to fees close to full cost recovery as possible without going over is what we really would like to see. We'd strive to be in line with the industry normals while recognizing that certain departments, such as library and parks and recreation, will never achieve 100% full cost recovery. Those programs, it's just, they're widely used, and it's just not common practice to recover full cost for those type of services. We will also be looking at and deleting any obsolete or irrelevant fees identified in the user fee study, and we will decrease any over-recovery fees to be in line with the state law. Some additional highlights include increasing the technology fee from the current 2% to 3.37%, based upon the annual costs that we associate with the maintenance and operation of the city's permitting system. We also consolidated categories for copy, city charter, and fax machine into one single category, which is basically streamlining the number of fees in the schedule. We also converted a current flat fee for multifamily loan subordination request review to a one-time materials and service in the Housing and Community Services Division. We are adding 28 new fees to this year's schedule, and these fees are basically to recover our costs for services that we as the city provide but have not charged for in the past. As you can see by this chart, we have 3 in community development, 7 in the electric department, 16 in the Parks and Recreation department, and 2 in the police department, for a total of 28 new fees in phase 1. We also have the opportunity to delete some obsolete or no longer used fees, and there's quite a few. We're deleting 56, and as you can see by the highlights here, looks like just about each department is deleting 1 or more fees. So in summary, the proposed 2019-20 municipal fee schedule, phase 1, results in a reduction of the general fund subsidy of about $500,000. $250,000 of the general fund reduction will be a direct result of increasing the technology fee from 2% to 3.37%. Fees contained in this schedule will become effective August 1st, 2019. So we're about a month later, but all the fees that we are proposing here would be effective August 1st. Now, I did want to point out, if you see a phase 2 item in this schedule, the dollar amount that is charged is the amount that was charged last fiscal year. So adopting the proposed fee schedule, it's really an important financial strategy for the city. This schedule adheres to the 2019 adopted budget principle, which establishes fees based on full cost recovery with limited exceptions. And we do have dates for phase 2 and phase 3. They're actually, I believe we just scheduled the study session for phase 2, August 26th. So we have a date identified for phase 2 of this effort. So we are recommending that council adopt a resolution for the City of Santa Clara 2019-20 municipal fee schedule effective August 1st, 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. This is an excellent report and really easy to read. I can tell a lot of work went into this, so thank you very much. It's very user-friendly. So council, questions? Any questions? Anyone? Yes, Councilmember Hardy.
I wanted to make certain I was real clear on the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So those things that were put in phase 2, I understand would not go into, would not be enforced yet, but are we going to have an opportunity to discuss any of those? Or is this it?
So you're correct. The items that are slated for phase 2 are going to come before the council at a study session on August 26th. And I believe we have 1 to 5 identified as the time slot for that. So what you do see in the schedule right now when it says phase 2, it's simply the same charge that we charged last year in 2018 and 19.
Any other questions from the council? Councilmember Watanabe.
Sorry. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Michelle, for the presentation. Thank you. I mean, this was definitely, an extensive undertaking by everybody, and to put it all together in such a quick turnaround, is just really awesome. I was looking through the information, and I think it was really great to be able to look, do comparative searches, against the other cities and how long ago they have had their, they've done municipal fee studies and ours compared to theirs. But one thing I couldn't find was, when was the last municipal fee done by the city of Santa Clara? Was that in the material?
We had the previous consultant 3 years ago come in, and they did a 2-year phased effort. We did half of the city departments in 1 year and the other half in the other. So it was about 2 years ago that we did the final segment of that. Last year was a non-study year, meaning we just updated the fees by salary and benefits or consumer price index.
Okay, so it's pretty recent.
Yes.
And then based on, these adjustments that we're looking at, specifically in phase one, and I think it's really great that we're going to phase them in, over time. Again, that, as was referenced, that it's not a big impact to people all at once. Based on the adjustments, how will it impact our cost recovery over the next couple of years if we do phase it in, over a period of time?
Well, since we're moving to this phased approach, you're going to realize some of the phase one revenue immediately, effective August 1st, as we start collecting those fees. As we implement phase two and phase three, that will be towards the latter half of the year. So we may not have a full year of revenue under our belt, but we'll have at least probably 4 to 6 months of that revenue under our belt. And then moving forward, as we take the really under-recovered fees right now, and council's recommendation is to bring them up to either full cost or close to it, then we will start to see that increase in the revenue projection moving forward on a regular basis.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Councilmember Davis?
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for waiving that $50 community thing until phase three. My other question was, when we look at this again, the business license, I think the permitting, was that something we were looking at to go a little bit higher to take care of? I know we're getting full cost recovery on that one, but in the future, were we going to raise that? Because some other cities have higher business tax.
So as far as the actual business tax fees that are
yeah.
on the books right now, those are would only be able to be increased by voter approval. So I believe that might be a revenue strategy moving forward for the council to explore.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Okay, all right. It's because other communities have a different structure.
Yes.
And they seem to make more money from that direction, so.
Right, and years ago, our hands were tied when the laws changed, and we were kind of set in stone that if we didn't have our fees increased to a certain rate, we were stuck with that unless we're able to go out to the voters and get 2/3 voter approval, I believe it is.
Okay, yeah, I like to look at that one. So, Mayor, I'd like to make a staff recommendation on this. And thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
A motion and second on staff recommendation. This is a public hearing.
Oh, do you want me to close public hearing?
Well, let's open it first.
Okay, okay.
Public hearing is open. Would anyone like to speak on any item in the municipal fee schedule? Please come forward. Okay, seeing none, we'll start with a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing?
Motion second to close public hearing. Please register your vote. Passes unanimously. Councilmember Davis now.
I'd like to move staff recommendation.
Motion second for staff recommendation to approve the fee schedule, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful work. Is that in the motion? Okay.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So we have a motion and second to approve. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you very, very much. Now go collect all that money. Okay. We need it. All right. Next, we have a public hearing. Action on a resolution confirming the 2019 weed abatement program and assessment. So I declare the public hearing open. Let's talk about weed abatement. Would anyone like to talk about that?
Jeff's coming up just to
Oh,
summarize the
okay.
action.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, staff and council. I'm Jake Tomlin, Fire Marshal for the city.
Hi.
So this is the 2019 report. We had approximately 71 parcels in the program, 16 which were abated at a cost of approximately $20,000. So we're asking this evening that basically those costs be assessed to the property owners. And I'm available for any questions if you have any.
Any questions, Councilmember Davis?
No, just motion to approve. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
The public hearing.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see, Councilmember Watanabe and then Councilmember Hardy, and I'll hold your motion. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you. It was really good to read this report and just, just see all the different properties that are identified. But so all these are identified by the County Agricultural Commission, not by Santa Clara.
It's a combination of city staff and county staff, community developments, code enforcement department, as well as the fire prevention division do inspections along with county staff.
And then, like, if the public makes, through, say, the My Santa Clara application and puts in a code enforcement issue regarding weeds, I mean, does that become part of this report as well, or is
Yes, it comes directly to us. We send out staff to inspect, we document and do the referrals to the county.
Great, okay. And then my last question, since we were just talking about cost recovery and fees and cost recovery, based on these fees, I mean, are they fully recoverable, or is it a subsidized amount?
Well, the way the program has worked for approximately 40 years is we've contracted with the county for these services. So basically, they recoup their costs through the assessments on the individual property owners. We don't currently have the ability to add any additional fees onto that, and then that would be routed back to us to recover our costs. It has been discussed about 2 years ago, but the discussions didn't go very far. Given the cost recovery dollars, it was
minimal.
It's probably worth more to us not to have a fee structure than it would be given the low dollar amount. Again, $20,000 for a total cost is pretty low.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I did see that it became part of the tax assessment and was probably collected in that way. So those are all my questions. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Hardy?
Yes, I noticed a couple things. First off, that Kaiser had something on the 15th floor. That's not the last two items on page 4 of 4.
The Kaiser Hospital Foundation, ma'am?
Yes, I was curious.
That's their address.
Oh, yeah, but it says owner address on all that. But where was it that Kaiser was not taking care of things? Was that out in front? Because I was a little surprised
It's
over that.
3800 Homestead. That's the local address.
Okay.
And the Foundation Hospital obviously is on the 15th floor. That's our business
Because
address.
that was a small amount as compared to the other addresses that are larger situations. I was wondering if that was just a small amount.
The way
that was-
the program works is once you're in the program for 3 years. And the $80 fee that you see is assessed by the county is basically an inspection fee to make sure that you're maintaining your property as you committed to the city and county to do. So basically that's what the $80 fee is for.
I noticed there were about 16 addresses where the owner and the address was the same, and I wonder what kind of outreach was done, or if there was any. I was wondering if it was someone who was older and not able to take care of things, if that was why, or especially since I noticed the one on Wood Deck that was right above where the Kaiser was, they were at the 575, where the other ones were at 80. I wondered if that was just a maintenance fee at this point. I was worried about us making something onerous to senior citizens who may have a real struggle.
Whenever we have any issues with senior citizens or people that can't physically do the maintenance on their yards, typically we do those referrals to our firefighter foundations.
Okay.
And they coordinate the abatement so that they don't get on this list. We do our best.
Okay.
And ones that are multiple, the county's fees are relatively low for their contractors. So a lot of big corporations or even private homeowners, it's cheaper just to have the county do it than them to have it do themselves.
I guess that. And I appreciate the outreach that's been done for anyone that this would be a hardship. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions from council. Do we have any questions from the public? Comments from the public? All right, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion second to close public hearing. Please register your vote. Passes unanimously. Councilmember Davis.
Motion to approve staff recommendation?
Motion second for staff recommendation. Please register your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you very much on that. All right, next we have reports of members and special committees. I have a report on ESMO, but I'm going to go to the rest of the council first to see if there's other council members that would like to make any reports or make any comments. Okay, seeing none, then I have a report, which is my responsibility to bring back after my trip to Isamo, Japan, which is probably timely tonight since we're talking about sister cities and friendship cities. So in July, I guess I did go in July. In July, I represented the city of Santa Clara on a sister cities trip to Isamo, Japan. Okay, that's when we landed. So I was there and I brought my younger son, and for those friends that I have out in the community, I paid for my younger son, so just so you all know that. I brought my son Zachary, and that's after about 18 or 20 hours of traveling. And we were met by our friends from the International Exchange Association of Isamo, and they brought flags and they brought a lot of smiling faces and met us at the airport, which was later in the evening, and it was very nice. So if we can go to the next slide. They're a little bit out of sequence, but we were met later by 4 of our students from Santa Clara, 2 from Wilcox and 2 from Santa Clara High School, and then Councilmember Raj Chahal joined us, and Margaret, who was the chaperone for the high school students. So there we are in the, I don't know what that is, but there we are in the city council chambers, and the gentleman that is seated at there is Mr. Kawakami, who's the chair of the city council, and their chambers, he looks like almost the Speaker of the House, so he actually runs the meeting. And there's 32 council members. Can you imagine those meetings? There's 32 council members. And they do have 2 women on the council now, although I never met either of them, but they do have 2 women, and they take very little input from the public. The public has a seat there, but they don't refer to the public at all during the meetings. And I asked them, well, how are they accountable to the public? And they said every time they go up for election, they're accountable to the public, but they really don't have a lot of interaction from the public. But they have a lot of spirited conversations, and he actually runs the meeting, and there we are in the council chambers. If you go to the next. Here was the welcome dinner the evening with all the exchange students and the students and the members of the International Exchange Association, and they honored Mr. Kuwabara, who we're all familiar with. We called him Mr. Santa Clara there.
Yay.
At that event. Our students performed, their students performed. I was dancing with Mayor Nagaoka, trying to really cement relations with Isamo. It was a sight to see. I don't know what you were doing, Raj, but I was over there having fun. But they really treasure the relationship with Santa Clara, very much so, and you'll see in some later slides. But I wanted to say here, go back, please. I'm not done with that one. Thank you. Prior to this dinner, both Raj and I were interviewed by some middle school students from the school there. And their topic of the interview, and I see some of the students that interviewed us, and they separated us, but the topic was they are trying to involve more women in Izumo, Japan, in their city government. And they were wondering how does Santa Clara do it with all the women here, and what we felt about it. And they asked us a lot of questions about, what they could do to change things and be a little bit, more gender sensitive and get women involved in leadership, because it's not something that is, it's not traditional and it's not normal there. So they didn't interview us. I don't know what you said, Raj. I know what I said, but I'm not sure. You can talk about what you said. But it was really, they're really interested in how Santa Clara operates the way we do, because they're fascinated and they want to have more of that in Izumo, and it's starting at the younger levels over there. But the dinner and the welcome party, there was several hundred people there, and they brought out albums of pictures and everything, and they haven't had a mayor there since former Mayor Mahan. So they had a lot of pictures of Patty there. They had a lot of pictures of Eddie Souza. They had just all kinds of, John Figuera, and all of, it was really nice to go back and look, and Judy Nadler. It's really nice to go back and see all of the history. It's a long, long history with Santa Clara. Okay. Next, we had, this was the day at City Hall where our delegation then went and met Mayor Nagaoka and Mr. Kawakami. And we walked into City Hall, and I've never seen this before, but they had several hundred of their city employees there clapping as we walked in. And they really, again, treasure the relationship with Santa Clara. And so this was at a press conference that we had, and Raj and I, as you can see on the right-hand side there, ended up in their newspaper. I don't know what they're saying about us, but we were there. They very much appreciated our visit there. So the next one is we went to a temple. This was one of several temples that we went to, but the Ichibara Yakushi Temple. It's called the Temple of 1,000 Steps. I think we only hit about 300 steps, but there you'll see we're with the chief priest, Daiko, and his father was a chief priest, and his grandfather was a chief priest, and they had statues there, and they had an area for him as well. The interesting part of this very well-respected chief priest is that he spent time in Santa Clara last year. He was at Santa Clara University, and he was staying with the Jesuits for a couple days, which was very interesting. And then his best college roommate friend has a temple in Northern California, and his sister lives in San Diego. So there was a lot of connections with Santa Clara, and he loves Santa Clara, and he wants to come back. But a wise chief priest. You'll see the next picture. You'll see how comfortable Raj looks, how uncomfortable I look. But we had traditional tea, and then he taught us how to meditate. And then we went through this awakening ceremony, which we were hit over the shoulders with bamboo sticks. Needless to say, it was interesting. We learned a lot, and the students really were fascinated. He was teaching us how to make some matcha tea and other things, but he was, the whole day was just fascinating and very instructive to the students and us, Raj and I as well. The next slide, Mr. Yamamoto, who was our official tour guide. This was a little bit before I think you came, Raj. We went to the Adachi Museum of Art, which is, you'll see behind the gardens, were just absolutely beautiful. And that was our translator, Jillian. She was with us. She was provided by the city of Izumo. She was with us the entire time, which was really, really helpful. And next, let's see. This is, I think this is a picture at the ceramics place. Was that the pottery place that we went to? I can't remember this. Raj joined them. They have a very traditional pottery making place, and they had this really old these ovens where they made traditional plates and cups, and it was just amazing to
Did
see.
they let you make a plate?
No, we bought, they let us buy things.
Oh.
But other than that, yeah. So we were there. Next, we had Matsui Castle, which is very famous
Love it.
in there. And you see Mr. Yamamoto there. He looks like a, very nice gentleman. You should see him climb steps. This man climbed to the top of that castle like Spider-Man. I mean, we couldn't even keep up with him.
The steps are small.
They're small.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an amazing tour guide. He spent a lot of time with us, and it really taught me how much their hospitality is second to none, and how much they, again, treasure Santa Clara, treasure our visits, treasure the students coming over, and they're all about education and hospitality and showing us the wonderful culture of Japan and Izumo. And then, of course, the next picture, the heart and soul of their community is the Taisha, the Grand Shrine. And that was our tour of the Grand Shrine. There's Yukimi there. You'll see her. I know many have seen her in Santa Clara. She's come several times.
The coins up?
Yeah, we did the coins. We did a lot of things there, but it's such a beautiful and amazing place with so many treasures, so many historical treasures there, that I'm just so proud that everything, yeah. Right, that's the hand ceremony, everything. And then the next picture is which was really towards the end of our visit, when we went down to City Hall, and to show, we all stood in front of the marble statue there. That little piece there is commemorating the sister city relationship with Santa Clara and Izumo. And although they have other sister cities, it looks like we're their favorite sister city. We're first in everything. We're, I think, the only ones with this like marble
We're our favorite.
marble statue there. And it just shows there's many members of the city council that are there, the vice chair of the city council, and then the chairman of the city council. Mr. Kabara is, you can see in the
Mayor
picture,
Nagaoka.
Mayor Nagaoka, and then our students and Mr. Yamamoto, and just there's just
Aguirre-san.
a lot of respect for Santa Clara over there, and I think that was it. But I think what was most important is that they want to do as much as they can with us here, and they want to continue our relationship and continue the exchanges. And I believe many of them will come over for our 35th anniversary, which is in 2 years. 2 years?
Yeah.
Yes, in 2 years. Councilmember
Can we
Chahal,
have it early?
do you have something to say?
May I?
Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. That's very elaborate report. I'll just add a little bit to that. As always, it's always an honor to go back to Izumo and enjoy their hospitality, food, and visits to various places. And I know a few of our friends in Izumo must be watching this council meeting right now, and it gets an honor to officially thank them for their hospitality. I would name a few of them on behalf of our whole council and mayor, like Mayor Nagaoka-san, Kawakami-san, council chair, Toshiyuki Nagasako-san, and then from the Izumo International Exchange, people like Mr. Yamamoto-san and Itsuka-san and Yukimi-san, thanks for all the cakes and the cookies she provided to all the delegation
Treats.
and the students. Mr. Wada-san, thank you for your hospitality, and Nagira-san, the former president of the exchange. And once again, I'm not sure many of you know, Ismo, just like Santa Clara, is also a hub, or not a hub, but a center for some of their very big manufacturing units. Like they have Fujitsu iPad plant in Ismo, and then they also have Murata manufacturing over there, which is one of the biggest condenser and capacitor manufacturer in the world, basically. And they manufacture in Ismo. And it was great to visit Murata manufacturing. And as Mayor Gilmore mentioned, that it was very interesting to chat with those students who were trying to increase the political presence of women in all of their political and as well as other spheres. And I do recall, like, I can expand that a little bit. I asked them take some clue from Santa Clara, where we have 6 members on the council out of 7. So it's a good idea to take some clues how you can bring more women power on the political sphere. And it was a good idea, because even in Europe and Asia, we do have some women power, like Chancellor Merkel in Germany, and we had Margaret Thatcher for a long time in Europe, and then we have currently Jacinda Ardern as a Prime Minister of New Zealand, which is there close to their neighborhood. So the students were, they had pretty good questions, and it was nice to chat with them. And once again, and coming back to the sister city part of it, it's such a great experience for our students, and we were lucky to meet our students away from home. And now that today we signed the MOU, friendship MOU with Incheon, Korea, and you must have noticed they both share one of the common things. Both are very famous in pottery. Izumo pottery is very famous for not only within Japan, throughout Japan, but outside Japan they export it too. And Incheon, Korea also had the same pottery specialist over there. So it was a great trip, and don't miss an opportunity to go back to Izumo anytime you get it. So thank you for that. And once again, thank you to our hosts over there for all the hospitality. Thanks.
Yes, and especially Mr. Kubara and Mr. Yamamoto, who spent a lot of time with us. When the most important part, too, is that the city of Isamo supplied a lot of resources for us to be there. Translator Jillian, and she was fabulous, and such wonderful and warm staff there that the city put the importance on the relationship, and I would like to see City of Santa Clara do the same. And really up our game from the international perspective. And I saw a lot of evidence of that tonight with Incheon, that we're really doing it, I think, the right way, because we have such, as Councilmember Davis said earlier, such a diverse community that the world's getting smaller and smaller, and we need to, make sure we're prepared for that. And I think that both for our city, our students especially, for these exchanges are just so invaluable, for everyone, that to have that kind of relationship and that close relationship that I think we even cemented more with Isamo is really, really important. So anyways, thank you. I know this took a little bit longer. We're lucky it's an earlier council meeting. I was going to do it last week. I changed my mind. It was too late. So thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
No, but thank you for bringing back my suitcase.
Oh, and we did bring them over some glasses from Santa Clara and some, mementos from Santa Clara, and they love the luggage tags and the pins and the glasses and other things. We had to bring 2 extra suitcases. So it was, we went with gifts, and then we brought back gifts from them. I should have brought them. I'll bring them, show them at a later date, what they gave the city back. Some very fabulous things, very nice things, including some food, which I think we ate already. Some cookies.
Yes. The cookies, they're
They
already
didn't
gone.
last long.
No.
They didn't last long, but they were very good. All right, anyone else? Yes, Councilmember Hardy.
That we have that cabinet right next to the city clerk's office, and I think that would be a great place to display some of those gifts so that other people get to see those as well.
I think that's a great idea. I think we did for a while the
We're
last
working,
time.
yeah, Councilmember Hardy, when you go to Izumo, Japan, and you go to their city hall, they have elaborate casings with every gift from every city that they have and experience, and it's beautifully set up. And I know we don't have that, and I really wanted to put it in the council chambers or something. We have a lot of gifts that are also in retention that nobody ever sees. So they're kind of like all over the place a little bit, but you're absolutely right. We don't do that justice. We should have some kind of place where we could display what they give us, because they give us beautiful items. Yeah.
I saw things at City Hall I've never seen before from Santa Clara, and Mr. Kubara has his own collection of everything Santa Clara in his house. It's like a museum to Santa Clara. It was unbelievable, the things that I saw
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Never seen before.
Yeah.
Councilmember Hart, I was just going to add, when they are coming over for a visit, we make a point, the city makes a point to decorate that,
I do the
showcase by the
decoration,
clerk's
yeah.
office and display, a lot of those gifts so that they can see, our appreciation for what they've given us, over the years. Yeah.
And if I may add, Izumo City, whenever the students go back each trip, they have a photo gallery they prepare every year, and that stays at City Hall for some time. I don't know how many days or weeks, but it stays there, and they have to present to the council just like our students. So they give a lot of time and energy to their exchange programs.
Yeah, they do like a debriefing. When the kids go back, they have to report to the mayor what they do, kind of like what we do with our sister cities when they come back here. They let us know about their trip.
And I
So,
think
yeah.
our students will be doing that at
In
some point.
September.
In September?
In September, yeah.
Okay. All right, City Manager, Executive Director Report. City Manager, do you have anything?
I'm tracking very good referrals for this evening, a tasting with Ovation and a planned trip to Korea for April.
It was October and April.
October and April.
Really excited about the council referrals tonight.
Okay, so do we have any adjournments this evening?
I didn't see
I
any.
don't see any. So thank you, and just to let everyone know, our next scheduled meeting of the City Council is Tuesday evening, August 20th, 2019. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion second to adjourn. Please register your vote.
7:47.
She doesn't want to adjourn. And that passes unanimously. And again, thank you everyone for the hard work on the presentation today. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
Woohoo! 7:47, you did pretty good.
Congratulations on your retirement.